What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we're here explaining basically everything you need about the weapon customization and attachments of Battlefield 6. The video is coming out at the last day of phase 1 of open beta, and I know that might be kind of disappointing, but honestly I needed some time to level up those weapons, get to play with all the attachments, play with different weapon categories, and then decide how I'm gonna basically shape this video for you. So without further ado, guys, we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into the action, but just keep in mind that this video is only solid for the open beta. As soon as the main game actually comes out, the entire thing is going to change because we're going to have a lot more attachments. Apparently, we're going to have a lot more recoil. Maybe not a lot more, but we're going to have some changes to recoil, to spread. So many things will change when it comes to the day 1 of Battlefield 6. So this video is only valid for open beta. However, let's jump right in, see what we have here. So first of all, guys, I'm going to talk about the entire weapon customization thing of Battlefield 6. In my opinion, this weapon customization is just great. Like, honestly, I really love it. I really like how this game actually gives you limited amounts of points for attachments, and that way they can actually balance things out very easier without just giving you ridiculous downsides to attachments to keep you from using them. They're going to give you a threshold of 100 points, and you can't go beyond that, and that, in my opinion, is really great. There is one more important thing about the entire customization system, and that is the fact that you only can customize one weapon, and you can't like have a great formula for every other weapon in that weapon category. We have weapons with literally zero recoil. You might want to focus on increasing the precision, or let's say ADS accuracy, or their entire hipfire accuracy to make them better because the recoil is already there. While on the other side, you might have assault rifles with ridiculous recoil but great accuracy. Then you're going to try to match attachments to maximize that recoil control. So this is how it's going to work. So we're going to today start with assault rifles. And for assault rifles, I'm going to go with my favorite weapon, the B36A4, which is basically a made-up name for the infamous G36. For the G36, you have a lot of options, but let me tell you something. Based on my experience, you have two very important attachments when it comes to it: your laser sights and your grips. They really help you a lot, especially those laser sights, because in this game, especially for close range gunfights, which happen a lot because we're playing close range maps in the open beta, you're gonna need hipfire accuracy, and you're gonna need it bad. You're gonna feel it. As soon as you put that laser on and start hipfiring people, you're gonna get more kills. Face-to-face gunfights are gonna get easier. Your extreme close ranges are gonna be, most of the times, one for you because of that laser sight. So that is very important. When it comes to controlling the recoil, the grip is actually very important, and you also have your muzzle attachments as well, which might as well be very important. Let's go ahead and take a look at the G36, for example, and let's talk about how attachments work here. So let's go ahead and start with laser sight. So the green laser sight actually gives you more hipfire. That's what we want. On the other hand, the blue one gives you some minor improvements to aimed accuracy when moving, which is not something that we really want here. We actually want that hipfire to be on point. So we're going to go ahead and put that on. For the grip, you have a lot of options, as you can see, but none of these are really important when it comes to this specific weapon, because when it comes to it, this weapon's recoil is not that hard to control. So we're looking for something that actually just improves the weapon just a bit, but not too costly. That's what we're looking for. So you can either go with the folding vertical or the ripped vertical. Right here, I'm going to go with folding vertical, and I'll tell you why, because we're saving up some points for future. Going to muzzle attachments, we have 3 options here. Now, I really like to go with the suppressor. The reason for that is the game says it reduces audible sound and information revealed when firing. Information revealed when firing actually refers to the minimap, but the game doesn't exactly tell you how it works. But based on my experience, people will notice you a lot more. You don't really feel that people know where you are. People don't pre-aim you. People don't pre-fire you as much. And I really think the suppressor is actually a worthwhile attachment to use right now in the open beta. So I'm actually trying to stick to the suppressor for some of my weapons, maybe carbines and assault rifles, and that's something I want to do just for now, at least in the open beta. What I like to do with every weapon is max out my laser, my grip, and my muzzle attachment, and then whatever remains as attachment points, I'm going to use it on the important stuff that actually makes sense. Now, this weapon actually has some sort of ammunition, which is called the soft point. Soft point actually increases the headshot damage multiplier to 1.7 times, which is very interesting when it comes to the full metal jacket, which is only 1.35. So your headshots deal a lot more damage when it comes to just aiming for the head and going for that lethal kills. And this attachment actually makes sense when it comes to this weapon. So I'm going to put that on. And after this, we have one scope. The scope that I really like to use is the SU-123 1.25 times. It's some sort of a holographic sight, and I really like it and how it looks in the game, how it performs. Customize that based on what you like. You've got your optic accessory. I don't really like to have a canted iron sight because that really doesn't help me in any situation. For your ergonomics, you have this attachment, which is the match trigger. It's going to give you improved weapon performance in semi-auto, but they don't explain anything when it comes to this attachment. We don't really know what improved weapon performance in semi-auto even means. So for now, I'm going to just forget about this. And as you can see, we have 100 out of 100 attachment points, so the weapon is fully customized right now. Based on different weapons, you can go ahead and customize the entire thing as you wish. Maybe your playstyle is a bit faster. You want to decrease that ADS time. You want to have more mobility instead of precision and recoil control. That's up to you. For this weapon, for this specific one, in my opinion, going for something like this actually makes sense. Now, why we don't really go for other grips? For example, we have the slim angle here, which actually increases your mobility by a lot. The thought process behind this and why I don't really choose this is because I don't really need to be using some sort of grip that gives me increased mobility and decreased ADS time for a weapon that is made for medium to long range. And for close range, I have that beefy laser sight that actually gives me a lot more hipfire accuracy, and I can just hipfire people. Hip firing actually really works in this game. So that is the mind process going into that. Why we're not actually changing the barrel has the exact same philosophy. The CQB barrel actually gives you a lot more hip fire, but that might be somewhat unnecessary because we already have a lot of hip fire accuracy just by getting that laser sight. You don't really need more than that. Going above that goes into the SMG range, which is not something that you want to do with an assault rifle. And the other options really don't matter. And if you want to put that suppressor, you want to start saving some attachment points. So that is the philosophy behind it. This is how you're going to customize your carbines and your assault rifles. Now we're going to move on to SMGs, and I just want to go ahead and start customizing the MPX. The MPX is far more powerful when it comes to it. So starting off with, again, laser sight, we're going to go with the 50 green. We have a 5 green as well. We're going to go with the 50. This is a lot more powerful, and as you can see, it's going to give you a lot more hipfire accuracy. Your hipfire accuracy is actually 71 right now, which is very good, and it's basically above carbine and assault rifle category. This is something that SMGs are known for. Now for the grips, this weapon actually is great when it comes to control. As you can see, control is already at 60, so we're not going to use anything for the grip that gives us more control. Instead, this is SMG, and we want something that can go into ADS faster. So in my opinion, the slim angle kind of falls somewhere in between and is a better option in my opinion. So you can go ahead and attach a suppressor here as well. That's right, it's going to give you some slight penalty to hip fire, but in my opinion, it's actually worth it because a lot of times people just don't know where you are, especially in those close range gunfights. Again, we don't really know how suppressors work, but based on my own experience, it kind of works great when it comes to close range gunfights and people don't really expect you to be there. One thing is very important, suppressors in this game, or at least in the open beta, either don't give you any downside or the downside is going to be for hip fire. If you're going to put on a suppressor, just keep that in mind. We're going to put one here, and this is going to be the setup for the MPX. Now, the remaining stuff completely depends on you and how you want to spend your points. We have the tungsten core here as ammo, and we have the soft point as well. Soft point is going to give you some more headshot damage multiplier, which is something that you might want to use, but I'm not gonna lie, the MPX in and out itself has a ridiculously good damage model, and using something like that, in my opinion, is just wasting your points. We have the barrel here as well. In my opinion, the 6-inch standard is gonna be something very good when it comes to saving points for other attachments, so you don't really need to go anything higher than that. Now, based on this, you have 10 points remaining for your setup, and you can go ahead and spend it in whatever way you like. You can have your extended magazine here, but it's going to give you only 6 rounds, okay? If this was a 40-round magazine, I would just want to have this on my weapon, so I don't really want to spend 15 points on getting only 6 extra bullets. I'm gonna forget about that, but you can go ahead and use your soft point here to max out the entire weapon, have your headshot damage multiplier at 1.7 times. This is now going to be a very strong weapon in close range and even sometimes in range, because for some reason the MPX is bugged. It's probably one of the best weapons in the open beta. So now you're going to deal even more damage with your headshots. That's how you're going to start customizing your weapons based on how that weapon actually performs. Your first impression about that weapon when you first play it without any attachments is very important. Shape your weapon based on how you feel about it. Moving on to LMGs. LMGs are really interesting. Now, you can go ahead and do a lot of stuff when it comes to customizing your LMG. This actually depends a lot on your playstyle, okay? Again, we're going to start with the hipfire, with the laser sight. In my opinion, the KTS 100 MK8 LMG needs to have some sort of hipfire accuracy. In my opinion, every weapon in this game, maybe with an exception of DMRs and sniper rifles, need to have ridiculously good hipfire accuracy, and not having it actually holds you back in your close range gunfights. And yes, we're talking about an LMG, we're talking about suppressive fire, we're talking about medium to long range gunfights, but like it or not, the map's gonna force you to engage in close range, and you will really need to have some sort of hipfire accuracy to be able to do something for yourself in those gunfights. So again, I'll go ahead and use my green laser sight here. That's going to be taken care of. And for my muzzle attachment, I really don't think that having suppressors on LMGs makes sense, because you're going to be suppressing people, just firing at everything, and you're going to give yourself away regardless of anything else. People will know where you are. In this specific LMG, in my opinion, even your recoil control is great, so you don't really need to go ahead and spend a lot on any fancy thing. You can have the single port brake on, or you can completely just have nothing equipped there. For now, we're going to go ahead and stick to nothing for your muzzle. But for the grip, this is very interesting. In my opinion, this specific LMG actually has a very good precision and a very good recoil control as well. So just putting on some sort of vertical recoil that gives you more precision and more control kind of doesn't make sense. So what I want to do is I want to improve the ADS time, because that's something that really lacks when it comes to LMGs. That ADS time takes forever, and we want to change that. And because of that, the only option here that's kind of viable and will do you some good in that department is the adjustable angle. This one gives you some more mobility, and it's going to give you some less ADS time. So in those close range gunfights, you can start ADSing faster. That's the philosophy behind it. Some people want to put on the drum mag. If you want to have like 40 more rounds per mag, but you're going to pay 45 attachment points, be my guest, but that's not something I want to do. I'm gonna just keep it stock and just move on with it. What are we gonna do with that extra point? In my opinion, you can go ahead and equip the synthetic tip ammunition. It's gonna give you an insane amount of 2.1 times headshot damage multiplier, which is just ridiculous. It's gonna be very, very powerful. If you use this, if you go ahead and do that, you're gonna have all your attachment points filled, and you will be left with no other option. Now, just keep one thing in mind, that using bipods on LMGs is kind of weird in my opinion, because you can just mount your weapon. When you start aiming above cover, you can just press F on PC. I'm not really sure what that is on console, but if you press F on PC, that's gonna just put down the weapon there, and you will have less recoil with more accuracy. You can also do that with LMGs, and it's gonna work really good. However, if you want to just go prone with an LMG and use a bipod on the ground, be my guest. But at least for this LMG, which is made for close to medium range gunfights most of the times, I'm not really going to go ahead and do something like that. Now, going into sniper rifles, I haven't really played sniper rifles that much. My sniper rifle is not fully unlocked yet with all the attachments, but I have the necessary stuff to just tell you how things should go for a sniper rifle. Now again, we're going to start with the laser sight. In my opinion, you don't really need a laser sight on a sniper rifle, because it's just going to give you some more hipfire accuracy. It's not something that you really want when playing a sniper rifle. Speaking about sniper rifles, you want something that will give you some less ADS time. Okay, aiming down sights as a sniper rifle is really important, and the faster you can do it, the better. If your sniper is a low-level sniper, you're gonna go ahead and use the full angle grip here, and if your sniper has reached level 10, you can go ahead and use the low-profile stubby. This will actually give you more benefit to aiming speed. For muzzle, just for the sake of it, in my opinion, having a sniper rifle with a suppressor on is actually very good. It sounds really good, looks very good, and everything is good about it, especially when it doesn't affect your muzzle velocity, it doesn't affect your damage like we're used to in Battlefield games. It's not going to do anything like that. So in my opinion, you can go ahead and equip the suppressor as well, something that I don't really have unlocked yet. For the barrel, for this specific sniper rifle, using the other barrel kind of doesn't really make sense because it's going to increase your muzzle velocity, but it's going to decrease your mobility as well. So in my opinion, it's just not worth playing. I'm just going to stick with the 24-inch barrel and forget about this 26-inch one. Now you have a rangefinder as well. This is very interesting and it works very good when you're basically fighting a sniper and they're 200, 300 meters away, right? Instead of just compensating for that shot, you're going to set your rangefinder on a specific range. You're going to change that in the game, and it's going to start doing the zeroing you need to just aim on the target and hit it without any bullet drop. That's something that people know, especially if you have played Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4. That was something that we could do with our sniper rifles, but that is not the case in 2042. But apparently zeroing is actually back into the game. For the optics, I really like the SVPS 6x, the default scope that goes on your sniper rifle. But if you're a more aggressive sniper, you can just decrease that 6x zoom to something like 4x, 3x, and call it a day. For ergonomics, you have the DLC bolt. It's going to allow you to rechamber the weapon while you're aiming. I don't really have any problem with getting out of my aim and rechambering. I don't really have any problem with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and not use this and save up some points for my more important attachments here. Your tungsten core ammunition here gives you more penetration. The bullet's going to go through some soft objects, okay? In some cases, it's going to help you, but it's going to increase your recoil, which is not something that really matters when it comes to a sniper rifle. You're just going to shoot and get out of the aim, rechamber, and go back into your ADS. Doesn't really matter if you have higher recoil. So the tungsten core is something that I really want to have, and you should also have the 8-round magazine for a sniper rifle. Reloading, like it or not, is not really something you want to do when it comes to sniping. You don't really want to do it that often, so having 3 more rounds per mag is actually worthwhile here. So that's the sniper breakdown for you. You can have the exact same mindset for DMRs. Every single weapon in this game is kind of different in a very interesting way. And this will give you some space for more creativity when it comes to customizing your weapons. And finally, let's go ahead and take a look at the shotguns. For shotguns, I really like my green laser sight here. For the grip, I want something that gives me the maximum mobility and the least amount of ADS time possible. So that's going to be the ribbed stubby. This is the best grip that basically you can use in the open beta. For your barrel, you don't have any option, only one. For the muzzle, you can go ahead and put on the CQB suppressor, but that's just not something you want to do. It's kind of weird to have a shotgun with a suppressor. I don't really like to do that. My favorite scope here is the Mini Flex 1x. In my opinion, it's a perfect scope for close range combat. I just don't really like using slugs and flechet as well. I played a few rounds with the flechet ammunition, and that wasn't really good. I didn't really like it, to be honest. But that's why I stick with the buckshot and call it a day. Here, for the shell tube, we have a 5 shell tube and a 7 shell tube. This is going to decrease your mag size from 8 to 6. However, it's going to give you a lot more mobility, and this will actually come in handy in those close ranges. So that's it. Here is your shotgun and how you are going to customize it. I hope this video was some sort of an insight of how these attachments work, how they affect your experience on the battlefield, and how you should actually be customizing those weapons. Something that is very interesting with this customization system in Battlefield 6 is that every single weapon is unique, and you have to actually put in some time and really think about how this weapon can excel in most of the gunfights. If you want to talk about another weapon, you have to sit down, think about the exact same case and the advantages and disadvantages that that specific weapon actually provides. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and there will be more coming in the upcoming days of Battlefield 6 Open Beta, so stay tuned to the channel, and until next time guys, stay cool.